Welcome to the CIBM Annual Symposium 2025. It is a great honor for me to be here with you to share another wonderful day of research, expertise, and exchange. We have an amazing lineup of speakers and poster presentations, and it's going to be really an exciting day. So I will be starting with the CIBM Achievements 2020-2025. And we are going to be preparing our strategic roadmap 2630. So I thought this was a good time to see what we've done in the last 5 years, 6 years. And so without further ado, I'm going to be starting my little presentation. But before going to that, I would like to go back to the past. We celebrated 20 years last year and wanted to remind you all what CIBM actually is and how it was founded and why it was founded. So CIBM is actually not a center of one of the institutions. It's actually the 5 institutions that made up this center. And if we go back to the origin in 2004, the goal of CIBM, and I'll read it in French, le CIBM a pour mission de développer et d'exploiter une communauté de recherche lémanique en imagerie biomédicale au plus haut niveau scientifique et technique en adéquation avec les besoins de ces institutions fondatrices et participantes en ce qui concerne la formation, la recherche fondamentale et clinique et les applications cliniques. So this is really what the CIBM is. It's really the core activities rely on research, teaching, and service. And so in 2018, it went through a little bit of questions. So whenever you want to grow and be something more, you do have to ask yourself some questions. So in 2018, this was the structure. It had 3 sites, 5 institutions, of course, 7 cores, and 9 professors. And they were the ones that were leading the show, and with the founding director, Rolf Grutter, at EPFL. So as I mentioned, it went through some questions, and was decided to have a new structure whereby there would be an executive director, and this is how I ended up here, leading the center with the scientific steering committee. And we went through a little bit some of the activities and how to give it more visibility. I was in Singapore as a professor doing biomedical signal and image processing. I did my PhD at EPFL, and I didn't know about CIBM. So clearly, we needed to do something about increasing the visibility. And that's how the new identity came along and the new organizational structure. So we started off with 4 modules and the different sections and at different institutions. So we really wanted to give emphasis and recognition to the institutions that founded the center. And this is how the formation came. So the CIBM actually has 6 sites in 2020. Sorry, I'm getting a déjà vu from my PhD defense. Okay. That's what okay. So we had, it was also a time to reflect on the leadership, and there were 3 very active leaders in the center contributing to the center. And so this is when we actually changed the governance, and the new convention 33 on the governance of CIBM came about. So we then, just to give you a little bit how we progressed, we actually had a new section joining, which is from Patrick Villemier, the CIBM MRI Unige Cognitive and Affective Neuroimaging, and therefore a new location. And we also had a new section head, Valentina Garibotto, who was leading the CIBM PET Huguenige section. So then in 2023, François Lazeras retired, and we had the great fortune to have Frédéric Grouillet leading the CIBM MRI Clinical MR Imaging section at Huguenige. And in 2024, we actually finally added the module that I really wanted to have when I came for my interview. I had the vision of having a data science in the CIBM, and then Jonas Ricciardi joined us with the CIBM data science section. And we had also new leaders in the EEG, some retired, some left, and therefore Marzia De Lucia joined us with the CIBM EEG Juvenile, and Serge Villemot took over from Christophe Michel, the CIBM EEG Huguenige Clinical and Translational Neuroimaging section. So now we have 5 modules, 13 sections, and in 2025, we actually decided to split up the CIBM PET and bring in the preclinical imaging altogether, and therefore Christina Kudalbu is the new head of the CIBM preclinical imaging, metabolic imaging section. And of course, our long-awaited Dimitrios Karampinas, who joined and took over from Dimitri Vandeville, who I thank dearly because he really took on a very hard job of being the ad interim until Dimitrios arrived. So Dimitrios, it's not so easy to remember, but actually sometimes it can get confusing, but anyway. So this is where we stand. We have now 5 modules and lost count of the number of sections, but 14, I guess, if we count right, including the administration section. So when we changed, or when we did this organization of making it into a circle, the idea is that we can actually grow, right? The pie gets bigger, except that the pie, budget-wise, didn't get bigger. So we have been growing with the same budget for the last 6 years, more or less, managed to squeeze in a few more Ks in there, but this is where we stand. And we've done it, so I really want to thank all the section heads and the leadership in the committee to be so supportive and to understand these changes when we are going through. So now, back to 2020, we developed a strategic roadmap, and we were very ambitious with all these different strategic objectives, which we were going to achieve and show how CIBM can continue to be great. And increased visibility, of course, was an important one. To lead and play an umbrella role in biomedical imaging technology in the region, also an important one. Increase funding and diversify sources. You can't do much without money, so yes, that was very important, but also we wanted to diversify to show that we can get funding from different institutions or different entities. And of course, invest in state-of-the-art infrastructure. If you want to be excellent, you have to have excellent. And our core business, which is to develop biomedical imaging methods and technologies, and that are translational and clinically useful. There are 2 hospitals that are part of CIBM, and therefore that is crucial, and so forth. So one other objective was to finally establish a flagship strategic landmark project. And this is, I mean, something that was way overdue. After 20 years, now 21, it was clear that we needed to do that. So if you want to go through our annual reports, you can easily find them online where you can actually see our achievements. And I will go maybe through a few of those strategic objectives to highlight some. But by all means, these are not exhaustive, as I could only have a little bit of time. So, but what we can see, the number of publications, number of projects, the number of external funding, these are all elements that show also the excellence. So back to our strategic objectives. I named them out already, so I will carry on. If we look at to develop the latest cutting-edge biomedical imaging methods and technologies that are translational and clinically useful, well, we have not only hardware that has been developed for the 7 Tesla Terra, the Campus Biotech, but we also have software. So the EEG analysis software CART tool has been there from more than 20 years. The fetal brain magnetic resonance acquisition numerical phantom, Fabian, is something that was developed in the CIBM signal processing juvenile section. AI, quality control of IMRI and deep learning segmentation validation, also in the same section. And JEDI, which you will be learning about today at 3 p.m. with Thomas Ross, is our latest additional member of the family of softwares of the CIBM. And so these are all open source on GitHub. And you are welcome to visit and use the software. So one more software, I have to say, is the free running framework, which many of you are aware. And this really has been a huge effort from Matthias Stuber and Jerome Yerli and team, and has been around for many, many years. And we are very grateful for the service and the support that they are providing to the community around the world, basically. So, as I mentioned, we need to invest and provide access to state-of-the-art infrastructure. So right now we have an MR hardware lab at EPFL. There's a neurochemistry lab at EPFL. There's some EEG laboratories at CHUV and at UNIGE. We have the preclinical imaging infrastructure at EPFL and at HUG. So please don't forget there's a visit this afternoon. So these last two editions were last year. And then we also have, in terms of human magnetic MRI scanners, there's the low field that came into our repertoire of infrastructure at the CHUV with Matthias and his section. And a large group of people who made that happen, because most of these infrastructure, they're either funded by an external grants, like an ARIKEEP, and then supported as well with CIBM fund that we preciously keep from the revenue that we obtain. Okay, so the revenue we obtain from the usage of the infrastructure goes back into making sure that we always are at the cutting edge of technology. And so forth. For the 7 Tesla at Campus Biotech, I do add this in there, as the CIBM section heads and the teams have played a very, very important role from writing the proposal to the call for tender, and until today, they are part of the Platform Advisory Committee. So, CIBM really played an important role into this, making sure that this machine was here in the Lamanic region. And we also thank the FCBG for collaborating together on this effort. So finally, this year, we also have the 3 Tesla CIMA-X, which is also part of the visit this afternoon. And Sébastien and Olivia will be coordinating this at the end of the day at 4 p.m. So, provide expertise, training, technical support, and networking opportunities. Well, the list is very long in terms of the founding institutions. The staff, the CIBM members, they do provide their know-how, in terms of support, in terms of expertise. We do have the teaching initiative as well that allows the community to be able to take to learn from our expertise, and not only from the theory, but from the practice. So they actually have time to do hands-on experiments together with the experts. And we are starting very young, okay, because we don't want to miss the next generation. So just a month ago, we had the CIBM and Siemens Healthineers welcome 10 young explorers at EPFL for the Journée Oser tous les métiers. And that was really a huge, really huge fun, and the kids really loved going around and building scanners and analyzing brains. So that was fun. Finally, to increase synergy amongst the different sections, well, the data science initiative wasn't the main goal, but this is something that inherently it will increase synergy amongst different sections, because everybody is using data and everybody needs to know how to manage it and allow people to be able to exchange. The annual events are also a time where we help to increase the synergy between the different sections. We have monthly events and, of course, the ad hoc events. So now if we go back to the funding, we have been very fortunate, well, not fortunate, we have worked very hard to actually diversify and increase the funding. So over the last 5 years, I'm very proud to say that we have received, in terms of external funding from grants, more than 30 million francs. And this is really something that is very remarkable, and I would like to applaud the researchers and the staff in the room that have made this possible. So the last one maybe that I would like to add to finish with is to establish a CIBM flagship strategic landmark project. Now, this was not easy at all. So we started off with 4 potential projects in 2020, and then 2 were eliminated, and then one was, we tried it out, and then finally didn't work out. So we, well, I had a vision with, after meeting Solange de Nervo, she shared with me her topic of research, and then I figured that this is something that is important for the whole community, and everyone can really contribute into this, for this type of endeavor. And so the Tesseract initiative came to life after many, many meetings, starting off with the section heads, one-to-ones, and then the core members in a group, and then finally writing up different versions, getting it checked, talking to the philanthropy offices, making sure we're on the right track. And this year, I'm proud to say that we worked on a white paper. The white paper has been written that describes the scientific part of the Tesseract. So last year, during the 20th anniversary, we unveiled, we showed you a little video, but now we have the science behind it in this proposal. And the next step is to get the green light from the top to start looking for money. And I'm also very proud to say that we have 2 amazing ambassadors. So Petra Huppi from Hugenige and Kristen von Plessen from Juvenile. And after reading the white paper and being part of this, I'd like to quote Petra, who says, "This is very relevant to what the society currently sees, and we urgently need avenues to understand and develop interventions that prevent the mental health decline of your young generation." So I think we are on track. I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to start looking for money next year, and then maybe even show you some results, preliminary results at the next annual symposium. So with that, I thank you for your attention, and